Hey Miner. Hey Chris. Hey Zuri. Hey Block. All right, guys. Once you're logged in, I'm gonna need you to do two things. So the first is send me a remind message. It's gonna be our do now today. So send me a remind message. We're trying to figure out. I'm missing about 10 students on remind. So we're trying to figure out who it is. You probably couldn't hear me because my microphone wasn't in. Just talking to myself. Okay. So two things as you're logging in, I left you a note that said, say here when you're here, so I can write it down. Miss Brooks and I are gonna mark attendance after probably like 5 or 10 minutes of being in here, okay? So say here, so far we have Miner, Chris, Zuri, Malachi, Jose, David, Edgar, Christian, Pablo, Zanai. And guys, after you say here, you don't need to say anything for a minute because we just want to make sure we're getting everybody's attendance marked, okay? Kevin, thank you. Mario, thank you. The next comment, you don't need to type anything in here, Mario, about Pokemon, and Pablo, you guys shouldn't be talking about anything random right now because we're just taking attendance, okay? After you're done, I just said to message me on Remind so that we have everybody in there. I'm missing about 10 students on Remind, and I'm trying to figure out in an easy way who's missing. And I did this with NYU, and it added probably 4 people to my class. So just quickly send me a message on Remind to let me know that you're getting it. If you have a restriction on there and you can't send a message, if you could just give a thumbs up in the chat. Angelique, thanks. Victor, I got you. Sherilyn got you. Sherilyn was in about every chat yesterday, helping me to co-teach Columbia. It was awesome. All right, and I should start seeing messages come in. I only have Zuri, Malachi, and Zanai that have messaged me on Mind, okay? Because I know I'm definitely missing some students on here, and it's been probably the best way for teachers and Miss Lund to keep in contact with you is through Remind. Yep, if it says email only, like you guys, that's fine. Just I want to know that you're getting our messages, so hit thumbs up. I want to at least be at 75 right now. All right, I'm going to start to read attendance one more time. We're 5 minutes in, so this is when we should, have our full attendance. It looks like we only have 18 students in here, technically 17 if Miss Block is here, 16 if Miss Brooks is logged in, right? So it's not a lot of people. The students I have are Miner, Chris, Zuri, Malachi, Jose, David, Edgar, Christian, Pablo, Zanai, Kevin, Mario, Angelique, Victor, and Sherilyn. Okay, Eric, thank you. So that's 16 students right now. Who else is here? Marilyn, awesome. Yes, so Miss Brooks, they're saying here in the chat. Some people are saying here in the classroom, which is good. And then I was asking them to check that they are on Remind and for reading class. So if you just got here, guys, I said message me on Remind. I have Mario, Angelique, Zanai, Malachi, and Zuri have all sent me a message. And then I had Minor, he said thumbs up. He can't send me a message, but he's receiving my messages. Because we only have 68 students signed up for our reading remind, and we want to make sure that in each class everybody is trying to use that. That's how school-wide announcements are going out. Miss Block uses it pretty regularly too. Yeah, Miss Brooks, put your code in there so that they can shoot you a message as well. It should be like I think it's probably just at your name. Ashley, I got you for attendance, so we're at 18 people right now. Kimberly, I got you, 19. Minor said, hey, did we have to do the quiz yesterday? No, we're gonna actually, move to that next. But again, I was just doing attendance and I'm checking that you all have your remind set up since it's the first real day of all this. We want to make sure we're communicating with everybody. Okay, we're gonna take it nice and slow today. We're not trying to stress people out, right? But we are still missing quite a few kids. So if you haven't said here in the chat, say here. And if you can't access the chat for some reason, just send me a message so I can mark you here. Do my last check at attendance. Yep, guys, Miss Black is right. So none of our work is due until later this afternoon. So try your best today as much as possible that if you're, in a class but you're not done the work, it's okay to leave that work waiting for a little while and just move on to your next class. And I told my kids that today, like if you're not done class notes, but you have math next period, I'd rather you check in with Mr. Morgan and have that time with him while he's available, Hey, Alfredo, let me mark you here. All right, last check at attendance. At 10 minutes in, I promise you, we're going to start to actually do some reading class. I'm just going to click on names on Kickboard. I'll let you know who I have. I know, Malachi, you're frustrated. And who I do not have. Hey, Mariani. So the people I have, here we go. We have Minor. We have Chris. We have Zuri. We have Malachi. We have Marilyn. We have Jose. We have David. We have Edgar, Christian, Ashley, Pablo, Zanai, Kevin, Mariani, and Mario. Same initial, so you guys tricked me. Kimberly, Angelique, Victor, Sherilyn, Alfido, and Eric. Okay, people were missing to call. So, and Sherilyn's asking, is everyone here? We are missing. If you guys have a way to get a hold of these people, please help us out. Steph, Jocelyn, JC, and that's it. 3 people. Okay, and Brandon, my bad. Yep, Steph, we have people call in. We're trying our best to get a hold of her. So one more time, if you have contact with any of these people and you can get them to get into the chat, it would be Stephanie, Jocelyn, JC, and Brandon. Okay, we're only missing 4 people. Brandon is in Philadelphia. Cool. I'll go find him since I'm also in Philadelphia. Jocelyn reached out. Amanda's calling Brandon. Yeah, and we'll figure it out. But for the most part, 4 people being out of this entire class is not the worst situation to be in, right? Okay, guys. For today, I didn't upload any new notes just yet because I'm missing some stuff from people from yesterday. So we're going to kind of start there. Jocelyn, you're here. Yay. All right. So JC is the only one we're missing. All right, cool. So today, guys, the quiz is posted from yesterday, and I'm gonna walk through and read the questions. 2 people have turned it in already, and that's awesome, and I'm proud of you. That's great. But I'm gonna just read it and go through because some people were missing class yesterday. Yep, Mariani, I got you for today. All right, so if you know the answer, you guys can, I can't access it because it isn't on a Chromebook. I will change the settings really quickly because you're right. I think it's locked because that's how we make it during school, is like we have it locked for Chromebooks. So it should be unlocked now. And if you can't, that's fine. Let's just go over the questions so we kind of all know what's there. Jocelyn, I do understand that you're doing paperwork, and we're gonna have a meeting tonight to talk about how to like best support you guys moving forward. So if you can't go on Google Classroom, we'll talk, okay? And I can mail some new stuff your way. Yes, Sherilyn, Act 2, Scene 4. Yeah, Malachi, we're starting right now, bud. I know. You're just like in class reminding me to keep moving forward. All right, yesterday we read a scene between Friar Lawrence and Romeo. So I'm going to read you guys the questions, and if you know the answer, you can feel free to say it in the chat, okay? The first question: what was Friar Lawrence worried about when he first saw Romeo? This is when we first, we read on Friday, right? When Friar Lawrence and Romeo met up. Was he worried, A, that Romeo slept with Rosalind? Did he worry that he stayed over there? B, that Romeo ran off with Juliet? Malachi, you are right. And Mario, also, that's a good comment. Mario said that in yesterday's reading, we talked about for our do now, you guys read a passage, and you said that the friar was worried that he didn't get any sleep the night before. That's also true. It just isn't one of our options. So it is A. If you're clicking along, guys, it was Romeo sleeping with Rosalind. All right, number 2. How does Friar Lawrence think about Romeo's love for Juliet? What is his opinion here? Is it A, he doubts that Romeo has sincere feelings? B, he's thrilled that Romeo stopped caring about Rosalind? C, he's excited Romeo found happiness? Or D, he worries that Juliet doesn't feel the same? Yep, guys, you're right. Good job. Awesome. Yeah, Sherilyn, you're right. We definitely talked about it yesterday, but we didn't go over the quiz. But yes, it's A. He doubted that Romeo was like being serious about his feelings. All right, our third question. Who challenged, I won't even read the options, who challenged Romeo to a duel? Who sent him a letter? You're all looking and you know that it's B. I love that you have both open and so many people could say B. I was just expecting you to write the name. Yeah, it's Tybalt. I love this class. Y'all are the most active and attentive out of my other 2 classes. Okay. Next question. All right, Zanai, we get it. How does Mercutio describe Tybalt? So we talked about some good things Mercutio said about Tybalt and some bad things. Was it A, that Tybalt is brave and valiant? B, that Tybalt is dumb and strong? C, that he was skilled and vain? That means he likes the way he looks. Or D, smart and weak? My heart, guys. Oh, you're right. Spamming with the correct answer here. All right, our last one. How is Juliet gonna sneak away and get to Friar Lawrence's cell? A, by wearing a mask. B, by having a nurse create a diversion. C, by pretending to go to confession. Or D, by leaving the house at night. Oh, I'm seeing some disagreement here, unless Ashley, you're just lagging a little. Ash, it's not B. But I guess it kind of is, right? The nurse is gonna tell Juliet to go to confession. She's not really making herself a distraction, though. She's not, gonna talk to her parents or waste their time. It's more that they're going to confession. All right, guys. You can submit the answers that you have if you were able to click through it. It looks like Chris Matute, Eric, and Marilyn all submitted their quizzes on time, and they're great. All right. Now I'm just going to read off people who didn't submit their notes yesterday. So if you need help after I'm done teaching my 3 classes today, we can have like a one-on-one session. I can log in and help the following students. Okay, so quickly, the people who did not come yesterday or complete or submit their notes: JC, Jocelyn, Kev, Kimberly, Marilyn, Mariani, Pablo, Steph, and Victor. Okay. Again, if you need help with yesterday's notes, Sherilyn was in 3 classes. She can co-teach and help you out. She said that the following people still haven't submitted their Lord of the Flies essay, which probably has brought you down for the last few weeks. So she listed your name in the chat. So that was Eric, Christian, Kevin, Steph, Mariani, Jose, and Alfito. So, while you have some free time. Guys, Ashley is a former student of mine, and Daishiri, they were in my class 2 years ago, and they just popped in to say hey, which is fine. Probably need some online class too. All right, now we're ready to move on. So I'm through my checklist. We did attendance. We did remind. We did our quiz for our reading that happened actually on Friday. And I checked in with kids that didn't submit their notes from yesterday. Now we are moving on, okay? I'm going to upload our new set of class notes. So you should go to classwork. Your due now today is pretty easy. Our exit ticket is going to ask us about how characters and setting sometimes impact how a story is told. So today for your 10 lines, you are going to tell me about the characters around you today. All right. So who is in your house right now with you and what is your setting like? So for example, my character that is impacting my day at home. So for and guys, for the Lord of the Fly stuff, we can work on that like in another period. And Mario, I think the Zoom thing for Mr. Morgan will actually be really good. I really want to go to one of the classes, so please let me know how it goes, because I would love to be able to see you guys and have you interact a little bit more, especially in this class. You guys are literally my most interactive class. All right, I'm going to set my timer. I'm also going to do my do now. I'll put on my little background music like we do in class. All right. This is what it should look like. This is a good journal. Day 11, guy. All right, Angelique, you're at 4 lines. Keep going. Sherilyn, good question. By characters, I mean like people in your family, in your house. For me, I live in an apartment building, right? So the people I run into in the hallways, that could impact my day. My parents, right? I can't see them right now, but they're part of my day because we have time where we video chat and check in during the day. Characters could be us as your teachers. Today is probably looking a lot different for many of you because you're finally talking to people you haven't talked to in a while. Ashley, good job. A lot of details here. She's got like 6 lines going right now. Mario, if you finished, you could start reading ahead of time on SparkNotes. I'm gonna post the scene for you guys right now. But some people need a few more minutes. You should not be playing Pokemon now because you're technically in class, right? So if you wouldn't do that in the middle of reading class, you probably shouldn't do it right now. Y'all have plenty of downtime at home. Thanks, Jose. So I posted the link. You guys can start to pre-read. We're gonna read together in a minute. It says we have 1 minute and 8 seconds. Is there anyone that wants us to read your journal today? Anyone that wants us to share it out? Because we will. Ashley said, me sure. All right, so I'll share Ashley's because we're about to be out of time. My timer says 28 seconds. All right. Normally, guys, we're going to try to keep our same routine, right? So I'll try to put more journals in. And if you guys want us to share it, you just say it in the chat and we'll share out up to 3 journals a day. Ashley said, my setting is currently noisy because my little sister is crying. While she is quiet for 80% of the time, she screams when she wants attention or when something is wrong with her. Other than that, unless it's something heavy falling or my older sister screaming because of her PS4 game, all the characters in my household aren't very noisy. Even though people in my house aren't always noisy, the neighbors outside are always screaming. About a week ago, when I was trying to get my little sister to be quiet, a bunch of the neighbors, rowdy kids, were, and then she stopped. Ashley, really, good details is exactly kind of what I was looking for, because today in the reading, the conversation will be about how characters are impacting the story, like with each other. But how does the nurse and Romeo and Juliet, how do they all impact and affect each other throughout the story? Okay. Anybody else want me to read out their journal before we move on? Oh, actually, I probably just couldn't scroll on my iPad. Mario said, "Sure." You want me to open yours as well? All right. Um, all right. Sorry. Internet probably because my building, everyone is working from home right now and using the same internet. Um, Mario said, right now, my setting is a semi clean room. I appreciate your honesty. Good job, Malachi, 19 lines. Mike has to come over every weekday until school opens back up because he doesn't have internet at his house. So we help each other. I hope y'all are keeping a distance though, and you're not shaking hands or doing touching things and sneezing on things. Um, my mom isn't here during the school day because she's working, but my dad, my mom's cousin, my sister, and my rabbit are here. Honestly, I'm very excited for online school. I can work at my own pace. For example, the art and science work with more than a half hour of time to spare, so I've been playing Pokemon, which I could not do if I was at school. That's all really just really exciting. Yeah, I agree. I feel like if you guys manage your time, you can do. Oh no, I gotta stop touching my face. Um, we are on the green side now. Can somebody copy and paste so I don't have to read? What is the first question that we are listening for in today's notes as I read? And Kevin, if you only have 4 lines, like this is definitely something you can add to later. We're saying that across the grade, you don't have to fully submit until probably 4:30. I think we said yesterday in our group chat. So I know some of you are watching siblings or you have a loud household right now. You can take your time. Thank you guys. Thank you. Okay. Many of you copied and pasted the right question. So it says, what is Shakespeare suggesting about love in the beginning of this scene? To follow along and read with us, again, I put the link in the classroom, put the link in our chat as well. So you guys could follow along with me. Okay. And here it is. So anytime you hear someone talking about love, we should share that evidence with each other. All right. So Juliet is at her house. She's waiting for the nurse. I sent the nurse at 9 o'clock. Maybe she can't find him. That can't be. Oh, she's slow. Love's messengers should be thoughts which fly 10 times faster than sunbeams. Hey guys, did we hear the word love mentioned? Could that be some text evidence that we use for our answer right here? Maybe. Can someone add in our chat? What's the quote that Shakespeare just wrote about love? What should love? So look on the Spark Notes, guys. Copy and paste. Yes, Angelique. So that's our first statement about love. Shakespeare believes that love should be something that is immediately, felt by other people and something that we should be able to share quickly and should be sent quickly. Guys, it's people's. If you're frustrated, the full video will be downloaded later onto my channel, so you could watch it all the way through. Live is just something that the connection sometimes is hard to have the whole time. But again, you can watch the class later on in the day. Sound good? Okay. Um, So she's still talking about love. They should be strong enough to push shadows over dark hills. That's the way doves carry Venus so fast. And that's why Cupid has wings that let him fly as fast as the wind. Now it's noon. That's 3 hours since 9 o'clock. But she hasn't come back. If she was young and passionate, she'd move as fast as a ball. My words would bounce her to my sweet love, and his words would bounce her back to me. But a lot of old people act like they're already dead, sluggish, slow, fat, and colorless, like lead. All right, the last statement Juliet just made. What is she saying is the difference between young people and old people with love? Sherilyn, we don't talk like that in my classroom, so we're not going to talk like that in my chat room. That's 100%. The second thing she says about love, and we should cite evidence from the text, right? Oh my gosh, I don't even need to copy and paste because Malachi just provided it for you. He said, if she was young and passionate, she'd move as fast as a ball. My words would bounce her to my sweet love, and his words back to me. So these are two things you could use for question number one. I'm going to wait and try to not move too quickly so you guys can answer number one. When you're done, can you just put a little emoji in our chat box, okay? Sherilyn, not something we should say in this chat unless you are laughing my avocados off or laughing my artichokes off. Okay. All right, I'm going to open some people's to make sure that you guys answered number one. Asparagus. Yeah, I appreciate that, Malachi. Thank you. So I don't see Angelique in there just yet. Yep, so I thank you for that other option. My butt off would be great. LMBO, we can make that a thing. Sure, Pablo. Apples. All right. Again, guys, we're on day 11, question 2. I'm going to open, let's check out how Matut's doing. So you guys had two options that you could write. Shakespeare said that love is something that should move quickly. Chris, you're just writing, you're accidentally writing under question 2. So try to pull it up if you can. So love is something that should move quickly and be shared quickly, and that old and younger people have different points of view about love. Let's try Christian Guillen. Yep, Christian, you have the right answer, but remember for Stop and Jot, you guys also need to provide evidence. So I'm trying my best to not move too quickly here. And check on David. Angelique, while we are all concerned for your back feeling better, it's probably not what we should talk about in our reading. So this afternoon, your teachers are going to plan one time a day where we're going to open like a social chat so that all of you can talk and hang out, but in our classroom ones, we should try to stay like a little bit more focused here, guys. Post the Spark Notes on Google Classroom, please. Yes, sir. Thank you, Minor, for staying on your work. All right, I posted it in the stream for you, Minor. Such an important character. I know all of you could provide me with an answer right now for that. Why is the nurse so important at this moment in the text? So if you have an answer for that, throw that in our chat right now. So some of your answers you guys are saying is she's someone that's gonna bring Romeo and Juliet together. Yes. She's definitely becoming more trustworthy to both characters, and she has a strong bond with Juliet, says Ashley. Yeah, that could help her relationship with Romeo. All right. So you guys already know that the nurse is an important character. We're listening for text evidence that's telling us in this scene what is making her so useful, especially to Juliet. Okay. And this is the last question we're answering today. I told my other class all I wanted to do today was our do now. See what happens. All right. Juliet says, "Oh my God, here she comes. Oh, sweet nurse, what news do you bring? Have you spoken to him? Send your man away." Excuse me. The nurse said, "Peter, wait for me at the gate." "Now, good sweet nurse, oh Lord, why do you look so sad? Even if the news is sad, tell me with a smile on your face. If the news is good, you're ruining the sweet news by playing a trick with a sour face like that." "I'm tired. Leave me alone for a minute. Ugh, my bones ache so much. I've been running all over the place." The nurse is feeling a lot like Angelique right now. She's sore, she's in a grumpy mood. She doesn't want to tell Juliet what's going on right away. "All right, Juliet, I wish you had my bones and I had your news. Come on now, I beg. Speak, good nurse, speak." "Sweet Jesus, you're in such a hurry. Can you wait for a moment? Don't you see that I'm out of breath?" "How can you be out of breath when you have enough breath to tell me that you're out of breath? The excuse you make to delay the news is longer than the news itself. Is the news good or bad? Answer the question. Tell me if it's good or bad, and I'll wait for details. Tell me so I can be satisfied. Is it good or bad?" So, how is Juliet kind of acting right now? What words could we use to describe her? Good words, curious, impatient. Yep. I think she's acting definitely impatient, like a little kid on Christmas morning. She's like, "Oh my gosh, let's get to it. Let's go. Let's go." Okay. Um, the nurse says, "You have made a foolish choice. You don't know how to pick a man. Romeo? No, not him. Though his face is more handsome than any man's, and his legs are prettier, and as for his hands, feet, and body, they're not much to speak of, and yet they're beyond compare. He's not the most polite man in the world, but believe me, he's as gentle as a lamb. Well, do what you want. Be good. Have you had lunch yet?" I don't know what's up with this play and everybody randomly asking what they're going to eat all the time when somebody wants to know what's happening, but it seems like a pattern to me. Page 2, and I'll put the link again right here. Yeah, Miss Brooks, they loved food like us, and I think it's definitely like. Did you have lunch yet? All right. So everyone should be page 2 on SparkNotes. I'm just using the book. I know some people picked up the book at school. If you're in the book, we're on page 127. Juliet says, "No, I haven't had lunch. Everything you told me I already knew. What does he say about our marriage? What about that? Lord, what a headache I've got. My head is pounding. It feels like it'll break into 20 pieces. My back aches too. Ugh." On the other side, "Ah, my poor aching back. Curse your heart for sending me running all over town. I could get sick and die. Believe me, I'm sorry you're in pain, handsome, and I believe virtuous. Where's your mother?" "Where is my mother? She's inside. Where else would she be? Your answer is so strange. Your love says like an honorable gentleman, where is your mother? Oh, Holy Mary, Mother of God, are you this impatient? Come on." So, guys, I think this might be our proof right here. Why is the nurse so important? What are we building up to? What is she required to do for Juliet? Anybody? Number 2, why is the nurse so important? To get them to the marriage. We just said this piece of text evidence. Here, I'm going to cite the Shakespeare. In the text, it says, "Do henceforward do your messages yourself." What is the nurse's purpose that is so important in this text? Yes, Pablo. So her major role is just to give messages between the two characters, all right? That's why she is important. That's why she's essential to this plot. She is a messenger of love. Oh, I like that, Pablo. The nurse is like the messenger between Juliet and Lady Capulet because Juliet doesn't have much of a connection with her mom. Ashley, that is a way deeper way to look at the entire play, but for this scene, just focus on her messaging things between Juliet and Romeo. But Ashley, you're totally right. She also has been a messenger her whole life between mom and Juliet. And Miss Brooks is giving you a restate. Okay. I'm going to finish the scene, but as long as you have your do now and question 1 and question 2, we're done with this scene for today. And we're going to read scene 6 tomorrow. All right. So the end of the scene says, Juliet says, "You're making such a fuss. Come on, what did Romeo say?" The nurse says, "Do you have permission to go and take confession today?" "I do." "Then hurry up and rush over to Friar Lawrence's cell. There's a husband there who's waiting to make you his wife. Now I see the blood rushing to your cheeks. You blush bright red as soon as you hear any news. Go to church. I must go by a different path and get a rope ladder. Your love will use it to climb up to your window while it's dark. I do the drudge work for your pleasure. But soon you'll be doing wife's work all night long. Go. I'll go to lunch. You go to Friar Lawrence's cell. Wish me luck. Thank you, dear nurse." Okay. So we finished the scene. We have about 10 minutes left of class, and normally I would, be sending you guys to work on your exit ticket, but all we did today was a do now, numbers 1 and 2. Okay. I wanted to save the last few minutes of class to again see if you guys have any questions, concerns, problems you're having. We had everyone attend except for 3 students. All of us took the quiz together. I think we did pretty well today. So kind of last chance to ask us any questions about your day, anything you need some help with. So if it's lagging, guys, the biggest thing I'd say is just try to be patient and then watch the video later. Ticket note, just the do now. I'll write it. Number one, number two. That's it. All right. If you were missing any work from Friday or Monday, definitely make sure you're starting to do that. All of the text is available online, so it shouldn't be an issue. And if you needed to pick up a book, the school is going to remain open to get lunches for like 2 hours a day, I believe, from like 8 to 10 or 8 to 11. And I messaged Miss Mooney, and she said, if you're still needing to pick up a Chromebook or materials, right, that would be the time to do it during the meal time. And that's a great question. I am trying so hard to figure out a way to do a live Kahoot. I think if I have two computers open, I think we could play on Friday. So we'll try that out. Yes, and I definitely take a lunch break after this. You don't have any class for that block of time. So yep, Mario, you can head out. If you're finished everything, you're great. And Miss Brooks again is reminding you guys, Power School, check those missing assignments, check what's late, because we're definitely going to get all caught up with our grades and what we need. With Mr. Morgan already? You were on Zoom? Zuri, we'll do it tomorrow, so don't worry about anything else. Just do now, number 1 and 2. Look at Chris and Kevin helping each other out. You guys are so sweet. Are we going to do YouTube or Zoom for Mr. Clokus? The issue with Clokus and Mr. Morgan is obviously they have younger kids like running around and needing to be watched. So they were talking about not using it regularly for class, but obviously Mr. Morgan's going to, but we were talking about also doing a social time so that you guys can be a little more goofy in a chat setting. Like sometimes in our chat, we're getting a little off topic. So we're going to try to schedule like one time a day where everyone can meet in a chat and like hang out and actually really catch up. So Mr. Morgan was going to do a video one and Mr. Clokus. Can I get a link for Power School? Yeah, Minor, I'll write a note and I'll send you an email, okay? But I need to pull that up. Minor Power School. Yeah, when you guys have math, let me know how it goes. That'll be like last period. I think it'd be nice for you guys to like see him and check in with him. All right, we have 6 minutes extra of class. I'm gonna give that time back to you. Do whatever you need to do. Go start making lunch. And if you need anything from me and Miss Brooks, you know where we're at. Okay. I love y'all. You literally did the best out of my classes as usual. Such good participation. Miss you. Bye, guys.